Welcome to Money Talk, making good investing easy.
Investing is a lot like chess. You need to be focused, make strategic and tactical moves, and take a considered approach.
The best investors, like the best chess players, sometimes make bold moves. But a winning strategy is also about a strong and robust process. Positioning and value are key.
And in the case of active management, it's very important to be a step ahead of your biggest opponent, the market.
It's been an eventful year with plenty of uncertainty and opportunities to navigate. Let's take a look. Brexit Britain on yet another political earthquake, Theresa May's failed political gamble.
North Korea and Syria, this is at the forefront of investors' minds.
Let's talk about the market reaction.
Its reaction, given we now have a hung parliament, has been predictable. Sterling has weakened.
This year brings with it a lot more political and policy uncertainty.
This episode is focused on turning uncertainty into opportunity.
Global portfolios have this bias towards developed markets, in particular US equities.
6 of the world's 7 billion population living, working in emerging markets. So there's a real growth opportunity.
The transition is happening, but I think it really has a long way to go.
I suppose the first thing that investors are going to want to know is, are there still opportunities? Clearly remarkable companies, are they still remarkable investments?
Technology is a sort of quintessential area for growth investing.
Big opportunity at the moment is Europe.
It's a low return, but not a no return world.
If you own a piece of a wonderful company, why would you sell?
Investing really is a lot like chess. You've got to be a couple of moves ahead.
Yeah, it's about playing a long game, and that can mean thinking 2-3 moves into the future.
So big picture thinking, but also not being distracted by short-term noise.
Yeah, and not all fund managers are good at that, but some clearly are. We found 5 top investors to tell us about their next move.
If we look at the experience of markets during 2017, what you're seeing is, despite some quite significant political and geopolitical events, actually markets were largely unaffected. It seems as if, at long last, we're starting to put politics into perspective.
Brexit is certainly a very big issue that's testing investors at the moment, and something that's likely to continue for the next few years perhaps, if not more. But it's no different to big issues that have tried us in the past.
The interesting point with politics is, although it makes a lot of headlines for good and for ill, in reality the impact on markets has been very minimal, both in the bond markets and the equity markets, and we'd anticipate that continuing to be the case.
Inflation's something that's a significant change in the markets, and that's something that over the last 20 years it's been right to shape the portfolios for falling inflation, and that's taken with it bond yields, and so the hunt for income has been paramount for the last few years.
I think the really interesting point is actually there's a lot of yield still available in European equities. So we're not struggling. There are a lot of sectors, a lot of companies with strong balance sheets, and actually there's a wealth of opportunities out there.
I do believe that the technology sector is entering a period of explosive growth. This is very real. And so I think we have to participate in some of these companies, but you really want to wrap your arms around the gold standard in the technology sector, the companies who are really innovating, disrupting, and can do so in a sustainable fashion over the long term.
I think emerging markets remain an engine for growth. China and India should continue to do well, and don't forget places like Brazil also benefit when China grows. But with this growth comes risk. China slowing down will be a risk for growth. Mexico potentially could get hurt if the anti-trade rhetoric coming out of the Trump administration goes up a notch.
The pound weakening is double-sided. Yes, there's huge negatives in terms of the impact it may well have on the underlying UK economy and perhaps the impact on inflation, but again, the UK stock market is a very different beast to the UK economy, where there's well over 60% of the earnings are generated overseas.
Given the very strong returns we've seen from equity markets over the last few years, I would expect that in 2018 returns are a lot more modest. I don't think we should be looking forward to a significant pullback, but at least a phase of consolidation.
No one knows what the future holds, but it's fair to say with investing, much like chess, you need a strategic, long-term approach.
Sometimes it can take a little time for the real story to emerge and the investment potential to become clear. And as investors, we need to keep our nerve.
Hopefully this episode of Money Talk has given you some insights into what the key themes in 2018 could be.
Keep an eye on our website for more investment insights and guidance, and you can listen to our views on the go with our weekly Money Talk podcast. You can download it on iTunes and SoundCloud. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye.